topic of today's video will be the origins of the Green Goblin, one of Spider-Man's earlier villains in the series. So without further ado, let's get started. Green Goblin would make his comic book debut in The Amazing Spider-Man 14. In that comic, Green Goblin tricks Spider-Man into going to Hollywood by offering him a movie role. Understanding how much it'll help Aunt May, he agrees. Once there, Spider-Man is ambushed by the Green Goblin and the Enforcers. The fight spills into a cave where Spider-Man briefly fights the Hulk, and that is also the first time the Hulk and Spider-Man actually meet. The Enforcers get defeated, but the Goblin gets away. That's just a brief sum up of that comic. I highly recommend you go read it. And now onto his actual origin, which is explained in issue 40, I believe. The Green Goblin's identity would be revealed in issue 39 as Norman Osborn, the father of Harry Osborn, Peter's best friend. The following comic, we'd get a full origin of how he became the Green Goblin. Norman would become the Green Goblin after a failed serum experiment exploded in his face, nearly killing him. After some time in recovery, he'd come to realize he would develop powers like superhuman strength, speed, agility, and enhanced feeling factor, but above all else, he would have greater intellect at the cost of his own sanity. After getting these powers, he would decide to dedicate his life to becoming one of the greatest criminals of all time. The reason Goblin would target Spider-Man was so that he would gain respect from other criminals and build a name for himself as one of the greatest criminals of all time. From that point on, the Green Goblin would make constant appearances throughout the Spider-Man comics. However, he would meet his end in Spider-Man 122, following the death of Gwen Stacy, in which the Green Goblin would throw Gwen off of the Washington Bridge. Peter manages to snag her leg with his web, but the whiplash would cause her to snap her neck. After that, Spider-Man would track down the Goblin when they'd have one last fight, before the Goblin was impaled by his own glider. Fun fact, a fan film made by a man named Dan Poole would have the first ever depiction of the Green Goblin's death, predating the first Spider-Man movie by 10 years. I just thought that was pretty cool. Definitely recommend checking it out if you have the time. As some of you may know, later down the line, Harry Osborn takes the mantle of the Green Goblin. In issue 136, convinced Spider-Man murdered his father after discovering his father's secret Goblin lair. And there you have it. That is basically the origins of the Green Goblin simplified. If you liked the video, like and subscribe or something like that. It'd be much appreciated, and more content to come later down the line. Yeah, until next time.